As you know, Carnival is now, parties taking place all over Trinidad and Tobago. Now, one thing I saw, there was a party on the weekend at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy in that area there. And after the party, there was a lot of police officers out on the nation's roads. They were conducting breathalyzer tests, making sure that people are ready to be on the nation's roads. And this was early in the morning, sometime around 8 o'clock. I mean, it was a Saturday morning, so... people need to be safe for Carnival, and we have with us this morning Inspector Hill from the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service as we continue talking about Carnival tips. As I said, police officers out there after all Carnival fetes.
Yeah, morning Rishi, morning Trinidad and Tobago. Well, yeah, that's part of our function to ensure that the roadway is safe, and it's also a preventive measure for the persons who are in those vehicles and for other users of the road.
Yeah, because I know at one point in time, there were police officers who would have been out just outside the venues conducting breathalyzer tests to let people know if they are within the limit that they can go and drive. Yeah. Is that something that we can see this year again, do you think?
You'll definitely see that. And we also want to encourage our partygoers to have a designated driver, someone who is not consuming alcohol and so on, at least within the limit. And it's for your safety, yeah? Yeah. It's for all of our safety.
The thing is, every year we hear the same thing. The police officers will say, designate a driver. Yet, at the end of it, thousands of people get charged. Why do you think that is? Why aren't people taking this advice?
Well, we need to comply with the law. I've touched on a number of different issues, and I talk about the last minute mentality and persons not respecting law. We need to obey the law. We need to remember that the function of the law is safety and security. It's not just about arresting people, prosecuting people. It's about, safety, making Trinidad and Tobago safer, more secure.
And that is our first piece of advice and reminder: do not drink and drive, designate.
Exactly.
What else?
And there's stiff penalties for persons who commit those offenses.
I mean, and this is then later on you can lose.
No. It's a traffic offense.
Drinking and driving.
Yeah, it's
when you charged, you appear in court.
Yeah. For all traffic offenses, you have to appear in court.
Really?
Yeah, that is correct.
Oh.
Well, when I say you have ticketable offenses,
right?
But again, if you don't pay a ticket, you have to attend court.
Yeah.
So and then depending on the cost of the ticket, if you don't pay and you attend court, the chances are you could pay more.
Yeah, and nobody wants to end up arrested for drinking and driving and have to wait for that long Carnival weekend.
We certainly hope so. We certainly hope so. So just a couple of more tips. We want people to, persons who are attending party, wear minimal jewelry, travel in groups to and from activities. Don't display large sums of money. Don't display your wallets. Don't accept drinks from strangers, and make sure that your transportation arrangement is prearranged.
Don't accept drinks from strangers. That is something that we need to really...
Yeah, I mean, as Trinis, we have a very, easygoing, free culture and so on. But we want people to remember safety first. It's for your own safety.
Yeah. Sometimes you go to a fete and you see somebody with a cooler, your drinks finish, you go over there and you start to line with them.
Exactly. I know it's part of our culture. We're very warm, we're very friendly, we're very open and so on. But you have to think safety first. Safety first.
When alcohol is in people's system, how much do they really think about safety?
Yeah, but we want them to keep in mind that safety is your first priority.
Yeah. So officers will be out at these Carnival events?
All the time.
All the time?
All the time. And also for parents and guardians, we want to remind them that children should have their identification cards. You don't leave them at home unsupervised, or leave them with strangers in public places. Ensure that they are accompanied. And also remind them not to accept food and drink from strangers. And we also want to advise that you don't take your children to Carnival fetes.
That's people under the age of 18?
Yeah. Well, children under the age of 18, that's correct.
Well, and that is something that I think we need to talk about as well. You see young people at these fetes, and promoters need to remember to check IDs.
Yes, they should. They should.
Nobody wants to get charged for having underage people.
Exactly. And they should. That's a very good point.
Yeah. So promoters, you need to listen to Inspector Hill and check IDs before you allow people to come into your Carnival event.
Yeah, you say if you're on the side of caution, both for you and for the person who's going
Because
to.
we did talk about, the sale of, at a conversation in the past, we did talk about, sale of alcohol to underage people as well.
Exactly. And it's the law. It's the law in this country.
Yeah. So any other tips you have for us?
Holders of firearm users license, ensure that your firearm is properly secured at home. Don't display them in public. You can find yourself in a lot of problems if you do that. Don't draw your firearm unless there's a life-threatening situation. Lodge them at police stations. And also remember, if you have a firearm and you're under the influence of alcohol, it's a criminal charge. Yes.
Even if it's a licensed firearm.
Exactly.
Yeah. So.
Well, we're hoping that if you have a firearm, it's a licensed firearm.
Well,
because if the firearm is not licensed, then that's another set of problems you have to contend with.
Yeah.
So even if you have a licensed firearm, you should not be under the influence of alcohol.
Yeah, that is some important information there.
Yeah.
So don't drink if you have your firearm. Even if it's as long as it is you don't have a firearm at all.
Well, I think that is good advice. You lodge your firearm. If you know that you may get intoxicated, you should lodge your firearm.
Yeah, and after when people consume alcohol, they can be
all sorts
angry.
of things happen.
Yeah. So people need to really be careful out there.
Yeah, so that's good advice.
All right.
Lodge your firearm if you're going to it. Don't take your children with you.
All right. Thank you very much, Inspector Hill, for coming on this morning and sharing some more tips for us as we move closer and closer to Carnival Day 2019.